Hello again, everybody. I'm Scott Casper, and it's time to take a look at the news from USA Wrestling, the national governing body of our sport. This week, the program comes from the Scott Trade Center in St. Louis, Missouri, home of the 2015 Division I Wrestling Championships. Coming into the event, the top story was Ohio State senior Logan Stieber. He was attempting to win his fourth Division I title. Stieber captured the 133-pound crown as a freshman and again as a sophomore. As a junior, he moved up to 141 and secured the title there. That was number 3. His goal on Saturday to join the legendary Pat Smith of Oklahoma State, Cale Sanderson of Iowa State, and Kyle Dake of Cornell as the only four-timers in NCAA Division I history. Well, the top-seeded senior established his dominance from the very start, scoring a pair of tech falls and a pin in his first 2 bouts. In the semifinals, he controlled Kevin Jack of North Carolina State 12-2 and was just 1 match away from history.
I just try to go out there and control the match and ride hard on top and score points when I can. That's what I did. Just trying to enjoy it. It's a fun ride, and if we win a team title along the way, it'd be cool. It's been great. Coach Ryan's a great leader. He puts us all in position, to do well, and I couldn't be, more thankful for him being in my life.
Stieber's match against Edinburgh's Mitchell Port was selected as the last bout of the finals, and the Logie Bear, well, he was at his best. He powered his way to an 11-5 victory and was also named the outstanding wrestler in his final appearance at the NCAA Championships.
This has been so much fun, and I haven't been nervous at all. I was nervous for Kyle, nervous for Nathan. My match, if I even get like an inch of nervousness, I push it out right away, and this is fun. It's just like wrestling in the practice room. So it's just I really enjoy it, and it's obviously it's a little bit of relief to be done and being able to celebrate with my family and friends.
While Stieber was making history, so was the rest of the Ohio State wrestling team. Coming into the championships, the team race looked wide open, but top-ranked Missouri, the slight favorite to win the title on their home turf. Other teams expected to challenge included Iowa, Ohio State, Cornell, and Minnesota. Tom Ryan's Buckeyes jumped out to an early lead on day 1, with Tom Brand's Hawkeyes not far behind. A strong second day saw 3 Buckeyes advance to the finals. It was Stieber along with freshman Nathan Tomasello at 125 and Kyle Snyder at 197. Iowa was down some 13.5 points with 1 finalist, but mathematically still had a chance to win. It was in session 5, the medal match round, that the Buckeyes clinched their first NCAA championship as Bo Jordan, he did it. Placed 3rd and Kenny Courts in 5th. Those 2 contributed mightily. Here's head coach Tom Ryan of Ohio State.
I feel great. A bit relieved this morning because I saw off the start I was coming back strong. Proud for an amazing institution, administration that supports the sport. It's been a long time. I'm just so happy. All the coaches in the state, all the people in the state, Buckeye Nation everywhere. I'm just really proud of the way these guys fought this weekend.
In the finals at 125, freshman Nathan Tomasello earned Ohio State their very first individual title of the night. He defeated unseeded freshman Zeke Moisey of West Virginia 9-5.
He's really good at getting big moves, and wrestling him throughout high school and college. I've been put on my back before with him, so I knew I had to get off as quickly as I could, and I knew I'd still have about 1 or 2 points of cushion. So the only thing was just not getting pinned.
Following Stieber's historic win, Ohio State was brought onto the stage and were awarded the national team title live on ESPN. The Buckeyes finished with 102 points, 18 ahead of the second-placed Hawkeyes.
We talked about be the change, be the group that does it. Tonight was tough. Exciting for Logan, exciting for Nathan. We talked about something earlier. You got multiple train tracks running at once, and Kyle's got a 1-0 lead. He's got a leg in the air. Gatson does a great job defending his shot, and then goes right into a nice throw and gets caught. So, Kyle's hurting, but overall, incredibly proud of the way these guys fought.
Iowa held the #1 ranking for most of the dual meet season and finished with 6 All-Americans and a second-place finish. Here's Hawkeye head coach Tom Brands.
Let's pick up where we left off and then build from there, start next year, and then we'll be where we want to be here. Not that easy. but we can continue a good thing. Let's continue it.
Tom, what was going through your mind when Ohio State was celebrating on the stage?
We're trying to get our guys ready, grouped up, because they're going to do 2 award ceremonies for weight classes, and then we got to go up the stage and get the second place trophy.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
It was also a historic night for Edinburgh. The Scots ended in 2015 with 4 All-Americans, including 2 runners-up and 2 third-place finishers. Here's Coach Tim Flynn after his team was awarded its first Division I team trophy when they took 3rd.
This is unbelievable. This was the goal they set when we started the season. You know, things didn't go our way all the time. You know, AJ got hurt. And, you know, we overcame a lot of things, you know, to get this. I think it's a family there, you know, and people like going someplace where there's family. You know, we take care of the kids, you know, whether they're, you know, winning or not, whether they're hurt or healthy. And I think people know that, and I think people want to come wrestle at Edinburgh for that reason.
Placing 4th with 5 All-Americans and an individual champ, host Missouri. Here's Tigers head man Brian Smith on the team's performance.
It's an amazing group, you know. A lot of people didn't have us ranked high in the beginning of the year. I think we were just right around 9 or 10 in the beginning of the year, and I remember them talking about we can win a national title and accomplish great things like the MAC championship, the regular season of the dual meets of MAC, and then the national duels. And we accomplished 3 of the 4 and fell a little short here, but we're getting on the stage and bringing home, you know, hardware at the NCAA as a team, and another national, our 6th national champion. So did a great job.
Stay tuned. We'll be back. There's more on the NCAAs when we return.
ASICS has been there. They've been the lifeblood of the sport. It's been a long time, and they've been at the top of the game every year, forever. And I'll tell you what, now that I think about it, maybe that's where I've gotten my inspiration, because you know, I always want to be in the top of my game in wrestling, and I think that's where ASICS is and wants to be as well.
Hi, I'm Wayne Boyd, Director of Operations and Development for Titan Mercury Wrestling Club. The club was founded to help wrestling worldwide, especially at our senior level, of course at the collegiate level, and the high school level. But the most important level for Titan Mercury Wrestling Club is the kids level. And these are some of the guys today that will be tomorrow's Olympic champions. Let's hear it, guys.
Titan Mercury!
That's Titan Mercury Wrestling Club, San Marino, California.
Winning an NCAA title is an amazing feat, to say the least. Repeating as a champ is something special. In addition to Logan Stieber, 2 others were able to repeat at the Division I's in St. Louis. After winning a title just last year at 157, Oklahoma State junior Alex Derringer moved up to 165 and scored 6 takedowns. That was in the finals for a 14-7 win over Indiana's Taylor Walsh. The victory was also the 100th of Derringer's career.
I'm pretty good at feeling things out. If they have a good feel for something, I'm pretty good about getting out of those positions. So, you know, I feel like I wrestled pretty hard, and I think I did pretty good. You know, Coach always told me the second one was harder, so I feel like this one feels a lot more special to me. You know, just coming back and, you know, going undefeated, you know, and pretty much getting 90% bonus matches. So I feel like I'm moving up too, which made it a lot harder. So I feel like I did pretty good this season.
North Carolina State junior Nick Gwiazdowski edged out Michigan sophomore Adam Kuhn 7-6 to win his 2nd straight national title at heavyweight. With a late takedown, Kuhn tied the match at 6, but Gwiazdowski escaped with just 15 seconds left. Gwiz has now won 55 straight bouts.
I knew it was going to be a war. It was not going to be easy. You look at all his matches, you don't stop. So I went in there with a mentality of it's like work. You're gonna have to kill someone, or you're gonna get killed. So I thought about my preparation. And that's about it. I had to wrestle the whole time. I had 1-0 that down where I probably should have stayed and wrestled that leg attack of his, but I decided to try to run and he snagged my ankle.
Most of the 330 wrestlers at the NCAAs have dreamed about winning an NCAA title since they were kids. This year, 7 athletes won a Division I title for the very first time. Illinois freshman Isaiah Martinez set the stage for an amazing career when he defeated second seed Brian Rilabutu of Cornell in the finals 10-2. Martinez scored on a barrage of leg attacks, finishing the year 34-0. He became the first undefeated freshman national champ since Cale Sanderson did it in '99.
You know, it was a hard fought match. I know the guy's tough. He believes he's the guy, and so I knew that going in. I knew it was going to be a dogfight. You know, I just stayed with what my coaches told me, and you know, it worked out for the best for me. So you know, I'm very happy right now. It's just been an amazing journey that led up to that match on that stage, and it's been awesome.
Iowa State senior Kyvan Gadsden fired up the crowd when he slammed Ohio State freshman Kyle Snyder to his back and scored a dramatic second-period pin in the finals at 197.
Man, I wrote myself a letter Wednesday night. Wednesday night, I wrote myself a letter. I sat down in the hotel room, and I told myself, I put all the stuff in there that I needed to know, that I needed to do to dominate this tournament. And you know, I just trusted my training. That was one of the things. Trust my training, trust my instincts. And they came through. They came through. It all came through.
2014 freestyle junior world silver medalist and Cornell sophomore Gabe Dean, well, he powered his way to a 6-2 win over Lehigh's Nate Brown in the finals at 84.
You know, it was against a real tough kid that I've seen a lot of this year. And, you know, he's going to come out and wrestle, and he's going to come out and wrestle hard. So the game plan going in was just to stay on the offense, and we did, and you know, we ended up on top. Incredible, you know, especially to share this with my family and close friends and my teammates and my school. It's the best, you know. I'm truly blessed.
2013 NCAA runner-up, senior Matt Brown of Penn State, he faced Pitt's Tyler Wilps in the finals at 174. Wilps scored a takedown late in the bout to go up 4-3, but was called for stalling and locked hands in the final 10 seconds, giving Brown the 1-point win.
When you're a little kid, you know, you dream of hitting that grand slam in the 9th inning, and sometimes it's a bump, you know. Had a tough ride, kind of, you know, just trying to get the time off the clock. Once the challenges started, I felt comfortable because I knew we locked hands. Just kind of pointing that out. But the coaches were saying, you know, just be ready for overtime, and I was, and I felt like I was confident. You know, we were both sweaty, but I was going to go get that takedown.
Top seed Drake Hodesheld of Missouri countered a shot attempt in sudden victory and spun around the third seed David Habad of Edinburgh for a 3-1 victory in the finals at 149.
Tough match, but nothing really mattered but just winning, and I brought it off. I usually don't hear much, just besides my coaches when I'm wrestling, but I could hear everyone screaming for me, and definitely pumped me up and helped me out. I think it was nice to have them right there by me.
Oklahoma junior Cody Brewer scored an impressive 5 takedowns on his way to an 11-8 win over Iowa's Corey Clark in the finals at 133.
Ever since I was a little kid, I've been watching NCAAs, and I told Coach Cody actually right before I stepped out there, I said, I've been dreaming about this since I was a little kid. I was watching these guys, and I said to myself then that I was going to be on that stage to try to prove something. I had a little chip on my shoulder coming in, and I think for next year I need to have that chip again as of hopefully not being the 13th seed, but you know, if I'm back to number 1, I need to have that same mentality going in every match that I have something to prove.
Well, the NCAA has set 2 new records in St. Louis with 19,715 fans at the championship finale and a new all-time attendance record of 113,013 fans over the 6 sessions total. Millions more watched around the country as every single bout was televised on one of the ESPN platforms. Well, the 2016 NCAA Championships will be held at Madison Square Garden in New York City, March 17th through the 19th. We'll look forward to seeing you there. Quick timeout. Stay tuned. Back after this.
Each season, Liberty Mutual's Responsible Sports Community Grant Program awards $65,000 to youth sports organizations and school sports programs that demonstrate their commitment to responsibility in youth sports. Your organization could be one of our 20 winners this season. It's easy. Simply visit responsiblesports.com and click on the Community Grant Program. Administrators register their organization with the program, then reach out to rally parents, coaches, and team supporters to log on and review either the Responsible Sports Parenting or Responsible Coaching Guide. Then complete the quiz and showcase your mastery of the concepts. Every successfully passed quiz is worth a point that you can credit to your favorite youth sports organization or school sports program. Connect with friends, family, and neighbors to rally more support. The teams and schools with the most points at the end of the grant period win. It's that simple. Watch the leaderboard throughout the grant season, then rally more of your supporters to increase your totals. Liberty Mutual is committed to celebrating and championing youth sports and to financially supporting organizations that demonstrate their commitment to responsible sports. Join the movement and start earning points toward your community grant.
Well, speaking of records, USA Wrestling this week finalized a record television deal for 2015. USA Wrestling, NBC Sports Group, and Universal Sports Network have reached an agreement that will expand national television coverage of the sport. NBCSN and Universal Sports Network will combine to present 9 USA Wrestling telecasts from 5 different events, including 5 live telecasts. Altogether, there will be more than 12 hours of network coverage, the most live content in a single season in USA Wrestling history. Well, the 5 events that will be telecast on NBCSN and Universal Sports Network include the Freestyle World Cup in L.A., April 11th and 12th, the U.S. Open in Las Vegas, May 8th through the 9th, Beat the Streets USA versus Cuba duel that will be taking place in New York City, May 21st, Greco-Roman World Team Trial Wrestle-Off in Ithaca, New York, June 4th, and the U.S. World Team Trials in Madison, Wisconsin, June 13th and 14th. Last year, USA Wrestling signed its first multi-event agreement ever with 4 events on Universal Sports and 1 on NBCSN. First up will be the Freestyle World Cup in L.A. The third-place match will be airing live on Universal Sports Network on Sunday, April 12th at 7:30 p.m., followed by the championship bout live on NBC Sports Network starting at 9 p.m. We, of course, will update you on all upcoming televised events as the USA Wrestling season progresses. Well, kicking off the NCAA week for the first time, a special Flow Premier League event featuring 2 pro bouts. FPL 5 was held in Union Station alongside an exciting high school event, the Missouri Border Brawl. The co-main event featured University World Champ Tyler Caldwell, a 4-time NCAA All-American who took on 2-time All-American and current MMA fighter Chris Honeycutt at 180. Caldwell jumped to a 6-1 lead after the first period. In the second, the 2 exchanged push-outs before Caldwell countered a shot and flipped Honeycutt to his back for the pin with just 3 seconds left in the period.
Definitely miss the college scene. I love the home duels, the away duels, you know, wrestling Iowa, OU, Minnesota, big matchups like that. So that's something I'm going to cherish the rest of my life. And it's over now, so I kind of have to move on to the next level. And ultimately, I want to get into coaching and stay in that environment. But this is great. It's a great event, and glad to be a part of it.
In the main event at 190, 2014 U.S. World Team member Ed Ruth squared off with 2009 World Silver Medalist and 2012 Olympian Jake Herbert. Between Ruth and Herbert, there were 5 NCAA individual titles, 3 for Ruth and 2 for Herbert. The score was tied at 2-2 when Herbert converted on a leg attack for a takedown and then turned Ruth for 2 more points to take a 6-2 lead into the first break. Herbert stretched it to 8-2 with another takedown, but Ruth closed the gap to 8-5 and then locked up a cradle for a takedown, making it 8-7. Ruth then powered Herbert to his back and secured the pin at 4:35.
I don't like to tell myself that I can't do something. If I don't get it the first 5 times, maybe it's the 6th time I'll get it. You know, I'm going to take my punishment. And I'm just going to keep going for that because, you know, in the end, the shots that you've been doing that get shut down, those are your bread and butter. You have to make them perfect in order to just keep excelling and doing better and better every time you step on the mat. And that's what I keep telling myself, you know, if he shuts me down a couple times, then I'm going to hit it harder. I'm going to hit it faster, or I'm going to just throw another setup in there and see if I can get this to work for me.
Stay tuned. We'll be back after this short timeout.
comes a point in your life that determines who you are, whether you will lead or follow, whether you will fight or give in, whether you will win or lose, and what you will count as your victory.
Well, the Missouri Border Brawl featured top Missouri high school stars wrestling against star athletes from surrounding states. In the end, Team Border won 9 of the 14 for a convincing 34-15 victory. At 145, four-time state champ Max Thompson of Union High in Iowa was dominant on his feet. He scored a 12-2 major decision over Austin Eveler of Lee's Summit High in Missouri. Here's Thompson.
I'm really blessed that I got the opportunity to do this, and I mean, it's a pretty cool facility here, and it's a lot of fun, and I'm glad I got to do it. Now I'll stay down and watch, the best wrestlers in the country wrestle this weekend, and this all works out perfect. Go Panthers. I'm just so pumped to be a UNI Panther, and Doug Schwab's the man, and I can't wait to join the Panther train.
Next up, Doyle Trout of Centennial High in Nebraska controlled Chandler Foy of Hannibal High School right there in Missouri. The score 11-4 at 120.
I'm coming in, I was a little bit nervous, my legs felt a little weak. The crowd was kind of getting to me, but then once I went out there and the whistle blew, I kind of zone in, and everything I put in the practice room, it just kind of comes to instinct out there. I just opened it up a lot more and faking, snapping, and I was able to get to a few of my shots and get that major decision for the team.
Well, the battle at 152 went right to the end as Freddie Stroker at Bettendorf High School in Iowa scored a takedown. With just 2 seconds on the clock, he edged out Luke Weiland of Seckman High in Missouri 4-2. Here's the future Golden Gopher, Freddie Stroker.
It's nice having college coaches. It adds a little bit of a pressure. I mean, I already committed, but I got Coach J. Rob and Luke Becker watching me. My future head coach, my head coach and assistant coach there. So, definitely trying to put on a good show for them and stuff. And excited to watch the dual matches Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Hopefully get some workouts in and stuff, and then come back strong for wrestling Agon April 4th at Cedar Rapids.
Well, the final 2 high school bouts were presented as the feature bouts of the Border Brawl. At 160, Joe Smith of Stillwater High in Oklahoma hit a nice hip toss and pinned Connor Flynn of Francis Howell High in Missouri, 1:41 on the clock. Smith will wrestle under his father, John Smith, at Oklahoma State.
It's a fun event for high school kids to let go. Don't worry about your record. Don't have to worry about state title. Just go out and compete and show people what you got. Show off full talent. Sometimes it gives you a chance to beat guys you haven't wrestled, or try to get up in there in those top spots in the nation. And it's great for recruiting. College coaches get to see you and see what they have to work with around the country.
In the final bout, 4-time undefeated state champ Jaden Clayton of Father Tolton Regional High in Missouri was strong on his feet. He took out Cade Brock of Stillwater High of Oklahoma 8-2. Here's Clayton after the win.
I just wanted to come out here and show Mizzou what they got. That they got some kid that's going to come in every day, single day, work as hard as he can to be the best that he can be. And right now it's showing. I went to Super 32. I was ranked 5th in the country at the time. I hurt my ankle in the semis like in the first minute in the match and had an injury default, and my ranking kind of dropped. I was like, all right, well, now it's time to prove myself again.
What time is it, fans? Well, it's time for the Photo of the Week contest. The pictures are sent in by wrestling families and fans from around the country and also be considered for the photo contest page in our USA Wrestler magazine as well as for our USA Wrestling Facebook page. This week's pick was taken by international wrestling photographer Tony Rotundo of Wrestlers Are Warriors. Tony captured Ohio State's Logan Stieber raising his arms in victory after he won his 4th NCAA title of his legendary career. Have your photographs considered for our contest simply by emailing them to Gary Abbott at gabbott@usawrestling.org. That'll do it for this week's show. From all of us here at USA Wrestling, I'm Scott Casper, and we'll see you next week.